April 1st, 2026 was meant to be the crowning achievement of a life dedicated to public service. Nancy Metayer Bowen, the 37-year-old vice mayor of Coral Springs, was reportedly just hours away from stepping onto a stage. She was to announce her candidacy for the United States Congress, a pioneer, a FAMU graduate, and a beacon of hope. But the announcement never happened. As supporters gathered, Nancy was already gone. Hidden in the one place she should have been safest. Rehook. How does a rising political star disappear? How does she disappear from a high-security suburban home without a sound? The answer lay behind a garage door. Wrapped in layers of blankets and a web of lies. To understand the weight, we look at the woman. Nancy wasn't just a politician, she was a trailblazer, the first black woman elected to the commission. Nancy wasn't just a politician, she was a trailblazer, the first black woman elected to the commission. She represented a new era, a woman of the people, known for her work in environmental justice. She had an unwavering commitment to her constituents. She seemed invincible. Investigation continues. But in the shadows of her skyrocketing career, her personal life was allegedly fracturing. The husband. Her husband, 40-year-old Stephen Bowen, was a constant presence by her side, a partner. A partner in what appeared to be a power couple dynamic, but reality was far different. The mask. The image projected to the public was a stark contrast to the reality behind closed doors. The silence. The silence began on Wednesday morning. When Nancy failed to appear, concern was immediate. Welfare check. By the time officers arrived for a welfare check, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Stephen met them. Stephen Bowen met them at the door. He was calm, perhaps too calm, as officers moved through. Cleanliness. They noted a clinical cleanliness. The floors were spotless. The air smelled of detergents. The garage. But when they reached the garage, the narrative shifted from missing person to homicide. hidden evidence. There, hidden among boxes and everyday items, they found her. Nancy had been wrapped. The discovery. Wrapped in blankets and discarded in garbage bags, it shocked investigators. Rehook the evidence found. Someone had spent hours trying to make her disappear before the police ever arrived. Calculation. Stephen Bowen was taken into custody immediately. The arrest affidavit paints a chilling picture. Premeditation. It reveals the hours following Nancy's death. This wasn't just a crime of passion, it was calculated. It was a crime of calculation. Investigators found evidence of fabricating physical evidence. Fabricating. Stephen had allegedly scrubbed the crime scene and attempted to dispose of forensic traces. Disposition. He didn't call for help. He didn't scream for an ambulance. He began to clean. Cold calculation. In the eyes of the law, the moment you pick up a mop instead of a telephone, it's premeditation. Premeditation. The narrative changes from tragedy to premeditation. Investigation continued through the night. The analysis. Forensic teams analyzed the patterns of the struggle, the digital footprint of the smart home. Patterns. They were looking for the why. Patterns were analyzed. Stephen's timeline was inconsistent. Inconsistencies. Domestic violence is often a silent epidemic, even in affluent neighborhoods. Friends tell stories. Silence. Nancy was a woman who carried the weight of the world and rarely spoke of her own struggles. The burden. As evidence mount, the community grapples with reality. The woman who fought for others. The fragility. She may have been unable to protect her own. Stephen faces first-degree murder charges. Premeditated murder. The investigation was exhaustive. Every folder holds a piece of the truth. The trial begins. Stephen Bowen faces first-degree murder, the weights of justice, premeditated calculation. He is held without bond. In the Florida judicial system, premeditated carries the heaviest weight. Is this a case of a man who couldn't handle success, or is there a deeper motive yet to be revealed? Daniel, Crime Stories. If you want to follow the full trial, subscribe to Daniel, Crime Stories 2026. Daniel, Crime Stories, subscribe 2026.